shit hits the fan and the Insurrection Act is enacted, how would you see this change potentially being a net positive for a worst case scenario in our republic? Do you see what I'm kind of going with there? Does that make sense or not?
Yeah. So I know a lot of people are constantly asking that. Where is the military? Why is the military not in the streets doing this? And one thing I've got to remind people is that if you see the U.S. Army or the Marines rolling down Main Street in your town, that's a very bad sign.
Yes.
Right? And we know that that's kind of what the other side wants, because the more armed soldiers that are present, the higher likelihood, so our group, military, law enforcement, and intel community, our law enforcement have been trained in de-escalation and crowd control. That's what they do. As soldiers, I was trained to shoot bad guys in the face, right? My job was to hunt very hard to find bad guys and kill them or capture them, right? That's not the kind of person you want in the middle of the street. They are great. They're amazing. They really are 100% for the Republic and saving the Republic, but they're trained very differently. And so you put someone who's trained to be in a combat zone in downtown, and then you have leftist activists and subversives that are purposely trying to provoke a reaction for optics. Because we know all the stuff they were doing on trying to storm the White House, the whole purpose of that was to have their own Kent State moment. And we saw Antifa talking about that directly.
Yep.
That's what they want. They want to try to get soldiers in the streets. They want to try to provoke one of them to accidentally shoot somebody, and then it will be on CNN and MSNBC nonstop for months. And that's what they want. And that's where the good thing is about, number one, great law enforcement. National Guard is kind of 2 and 2 because they are the ones that are trained for national domestic defense. And we have our law enforcement. Then you have groups like ours, where you have a lot of former law enforcement and military people where we're kind of stepped back. We're not walking around with M4s. And we have a kind of different, our mindset is de-escalation and protection of people and not actually hunting down bad guys. So long story short, you don't want to see the U.S. military in the streets. If that happens, that means we're in trouble. It's a very bad thing because